the wisdom and knowledge and understanding that was given is enough to last a lifetime. So you've got a whole week to do it and then come back again. And like I said last night, that it's 2 weeks, and probably two of the most heavy and intense and heavy. It's harrowing in some ways, but that's what I intentionally did. I throw myself into life so that it harrows me. I'm harrowed by it. And it all fits together perfectly because John comes and uses this vocabulary when he talks to me. And that's extremely pertinent, it's extremely synchronized, extremely valuable. I can't stress that enough. The other thing I want to try and get across is that Jackie is a mystic. She has this look in her eye that I saw it last night, and I recognized that she's a mystic. Like, she's a mystic. She's so good at her craft that she's been able to become a mystic through her craft, through her discipline. It helps that the craft is somewhat completely out there, so that she's a mystic. So John's also a mystic as well. He's a different kind of mystic. The two of them together are absolutely incredible. That's about it. So then the other thing, that the purpose of making this video today is that, so I woke up in a much better state of being, and I've had a day where I've interacted with people in a much better light-hearted demeanor and state of being. So the people are naturally comfortable around me and naturally pleasant. Another big thing I'll say now, because I recognize this, and I said it to my friend and colleague last night, and like we just went into it just for the point of going, like, this is something that's worth sharing, that it's been recognized now. And now I can't remember what it was because the dog just distracted me. Now I recognize that it's really important for me that people feel like everybody feels comfortable in my presence and feels that I'm not judging them. And that what that means is that I see whatever I see, and I see more than most people could ever imagine what I'm capable of seeing. But I was always just total acceptance. It is what it is, what it is. They are who they are. Like, I don't have a judgment. I just see them as God's child. And it's very important that they feel that. So I actually feel bad if someone feels like I have, like, you know, people are defensive and they feel judged anyway, so that's irrelevant. But if they feel like I have not given the most simple, basic acknowledgement, or I have seen something and I have made a judgment, because you can feel that stuff. So if something like that comes up, or something near that comes up, then I do feel really bad. Like, it never comes up in me, actually. It hasn't come up for years, but what comes up is that sometimes there's a feeling, and I noticed it because it was so rare, and it actually did not occur the other night when I had multiple social interactions, that it did not occur that there was no one who I got the feeling that they felt judged in any way. So that's interesting, the paradox is why it came to mind. But just recognizing that's actually something that's very important to me, because it's a really fundamental thing, and that I seem to be succeeding in that. Like, I'm not having anybody that's feeling judged by me when they're in my presence. Little Frazzle sweetheart, my baby, is wondering if she can have some of my dinner. That's cooking. So it's a much better day. I feel much closer to myself. And I feel like I would normally throw myself into life the way I threw myself into life the last 2 weeks anyway. And if I didn't have the training to go to last night to absolutely give everything to, then I would most likely be a lot more affected today in a negative way than what I am by it. Because actually I'm not, like I'm affected by it in a good way. I'm not affected in a negative way at all. It's very important soul training. And then I said to Jackie last night, like I wasn't feeling good, but I'm so glad I came. And she goes, this is so important for your soul. You've got to give time to you nourishing your soul. It's so important for your soul. This is soul work. And she's so right. So right. It's just such amazing training. And you know, like if you were to ask me what is the training, I would talk for 6 hours about what it is and still not have explained it at all. And I don't actually know. I mean, this is the 8th time that I've attended training. So it's been 10 weeks. I've missed 2 training sessions in 10 weeks. So it's 8 sessions. And it is like John says, you know, like this is the most important thing in your life now. Or if it's not, then something like this has to be. And or something has to be that does all this for you. And he's so right. This is the most important thing. Certainly the most important thing in my week to do, to schedule in and to make sure that I'm there and I'm doing it. And the great thing is, you know, like I crawled into the training hall last night as a complete, just needed to be renewed. I left it all behind, needed to be renewed. There's not many places you can do that. Not many places you can just rock up somewhere. Well, I suppose you can. Maybe I would feel comfortable to do that now at my training hall in Kung Fu. But I don't feel like comfortable. I'm not good enough to go and train Kung Fu around the corner. I don't have the money to go and train. But, you know, you could always make $20 and go do casual class and stuff. It's not really the way I want to do it. I want to do it, I'm there. Pay for the year and be there and do it. And be there 3 or 4 nights a week. And I should be there doing it, but I'm not good enough. Why am I not good enough? Well, there's blockages and stuff inside myself that I just can't seem to get my daily training routine to be anything decent at the moment, let alone past an hour and a half, and get it back up to 4 hours a day. 4 hours a day, then, you know, I'm sure my life would be smooth sailing in every way if I was training 4 hours Kung Fu every morning to start my day, which is meditation, Qigong, Tai Chi, Kung Fu, yoga as well. So it's comprehensive. And then breakfast, particular breakfast, and then start the day. But what is getting in the way of doing it? Why am I, like, I feel so much more energetic today because the spirit blocks the chi in the body, and so we feel exhausted and we need to go back to sleep. And it's not a laziness and it's not a depression. It's something else. It's a blockage. It's a stagnation, which you would say is a depression, but it comes before the depression that we know as depression to be depression kind of thing, even though that being said, depression comes in all kinds of ways. Anyway, much better day. Feeling really good. The concepts, the paradoxes that we're talking about were the void, for instance. You know, into the void. So that's then when I piped up and asked the question, if you stay there, will you cease to exist? Is that a place where you will cease to exist if you stay there too long? And so that opened up a 5-minute answer from John. And where it came to is that it's got to be your center here. Here's your belly button, right? So it's there. It's that there. That's where you are, right? That's where you are. And as long as you're there, then you can do the training and you can't be taken away. So all of these practices, what the answer should come down to, all the practices were so centering in the body. There's no way that you can float away. Your spirit and your mind cannot float away because you're so in your body doing the physical training. That's what it's all about. So you can't cease to exist. And there's this continuum from this point in the center in the belly. It's a continuum. Is the word that I came up with. That's not the word that John used. But, it carries forth. It transfers from you to the other performers and to the audience and to the cosmos. And it carries through. You're not doing this and then doing that and then doing this. You're doing this thing that carries through. You're carrying the energy. And how can you carry the energy? The only way you can carry the energy is by having it in your center, carrying it through your center, and being in the center. And you must be focused on center. If there's anything going on in the mind, then it is to be aware and in control of the center. And from there, you can go into all kinds of other spiritual realms because you are grounded in your body. You're embodied in your body. So that's enough. Uru.